All right, ladies and gentlemen, get in here, get in here. We're talking about Phyllis Hyman. I want to welcome you new viewers, you returning viewers, and you subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. I really and truly do. I am yours truly, Peppy. Oh gosh, this has been an interesting ride right now with Phyllis Hyman. I started listening to her first two albums about an hour ago. I just finished listening to them. I've never heard them at all. Someone out there wanted me to talk about Phyllis Hyman, and I, was going to do it eventually. And so now I've gotten around to doing it. And I must say, I got a lot on my mind. I really and truly do with just the first two albums. So what I'm going to do, covering Phyllis Hyman, what I decided to do, I'm going to do 3 videos. In the first video, I'm going to cover her first 2 albums for Buddha. Then I'm going to cover her, 4 albums, right? 4 albums for Arista Records. And then I'm going to cover her material that she released with Philadelphia International. So that's how I'm going to do it. And you know what? Listening to Phyllis's first 2 albums, the way I see Phyllis Hyman as a singer, as an R&B diva, has totally changed. When I first was introduced to Phyllis Hyman's music by my aunt, the same aunt that introduced me to En Vogue and Kelly Price and Mary J. Blige and Lisa Keith and Mesa and all those artists' music, I discovered Phyllis Hyman in the middle of her recording career. And what I mean by her recording career, not in years, but as far as albums are concerned. The Living All Alone album, my aunt had it. She had the cassette. And I loved Living All Alone. I love Ain't You Had Enough Love. Like that entire album, I love it. Okay. And that's when I started to, discover Phyllis Hyman. And then, of course, as you're listening to music throughout the years, they will always play the song, You Know How to Love Me. So for the most part, I knew Phyllis Hyman from that song, Living All Alone album. And then she did some stuff with, was it Grover Washington Jr., a song called Sacred Kind of Love. And so I've always admired her as a singer. And not only that, she had a lot of things to say about her recording contract. Well, I guess you could say recording contract, but her recording career as it relates to her the way in which, she was marketed as a singer, and to see other singers who had better bodies, so to speak, physically attractive, but did not have the pipes she had, and they go off and be successful. So as I am sitting here right now and I'm just listening to and just haven't listened to the first 2 albums, I'm here to say, Phyllis Hyman, you didn't cuss out enough people. You didn't. Like at this moment in time, I am like all behind you. If you had a riff tiff with Clive Davis in your career, I'm saying to myself, you probably didn't cuss him out enough. Honestly, in any other person that came across you and made you feel less than. And it's unfortunate that allegedly she, her life ended by her own hands. She suffered from bipolar and depression. So it's unfortunate, but she didn't. She didn't. I have this album. I was very excited to get this album, Prime of My Life. This includes the #1 hit, Don't Want to Change the World. And so I was definitely baffled when I discovered that, a few years after this album, that she had, taken her own life. And I was like, oh my gosh, like at the height of her career, so to speak, when she has a #1 hit, obviously getting sales, so on and so forth, but her career was still not where it needed to be and where she thought that it should be. But anyway, we're here for the music right now. So let's talk about the music. You know, what I tried to do when I first listened to the first song, when I intentionally sat down to listen to Phyllis Hyman's music, what I'm going to have to start not doing is stop listening to the music for me to like it, right? Or for me to find that hit song. When I first heard the first song, I was like, don't do that. After the first song, and the first song on her first album, the first one I listened to, which was her 1997 album, self-titled album, actually, Phyllis Hyman. And the first song on that album is called Loving You, Losing You. And when I was listening to it, of course, you know, I've taken notes for this one. I've taken notes. And I was like, let me stop. You know, I don't want to listen to it to try to find that hit song that I like. I wanted to listen to it to understand her as an artist, what the record companies obviously and the writers was trying to do for that time, so on and so forth, right? And doing that, I must tell you, I have a lot of songs that I like by Phyllis Hyman. You know, I mean, to just jump right to it real quick, like that second album, and I think the second album is called Sing a Song. That second album, Sing a Song. I like all the songs. I like them all. I like them all. Like that's my, like right now, today, I know that Sing a Song, the album by Phyllis Hyman, and Living All Alone, the album by Phyllis Hyman, I like both of those albums from the beginning to the end. Yes, I do. So let's talk. When I am listening to Phyllis Hyman's first album, you know, obviously it's definitely in that time. It's 1977. And so when I started listening to it, I was saying to myself, and then I was getting more and more into the album, I was like, Phyllis, you remind me a lot, your music reminds me a lot of Chaka Khan, Natalie Cole, and Anita Baker. Definitely the music, you know, and when I was listening to it, I was like, well, obviously so, you know, it's definitely in that time period. Those divas was definitely out during that time. Yes, Anita Baker was out around that time with what, Chapter 8, what's the name of that song called? Just Want to Be Your Girl. So I was like, yeah, this is a lot. This is Chaka Khan, Natalie Cole, definitely the first album. And so the first song I like, which is called Loving You, Losing You, I love the song. I do when I heard it. And it's very typical. It's a long intro that reminds me of Papa Was a Rolling Stone. You know how that long intro is to that song, as well as Shaft. By Isaac Hayes, that long intro. And then when it finally comes in, I'm like, oh, okay, I like this. I like the song a lot. And then listening to the song Loving You, Losing You, I definitely got this Diana Ross and Supreme type song from her. And, you know, I could see the Supremes and Diana Ross definitely singing the song Loving You, Losing You. I like it a lot. Definitely. And then, of course, you have the next song, which is called No One Can Love You More, written by Skip Scarborough. And I don't know why. This is just me, you know, saying it at the top of my head from my notes. And when I was listening to the song, I was like, this is definitely a style of music that Anita Baker would sing, this song. Definitely. Which then I started thinking about, you know, Anita Baker, Phyllis Hyman, Toni Braxton. I started thinking about the vocals, and I was saying, wait a minute, Phyllis Hyman was Anita Baker before Anita Baker was. You know what I'm saying, as far as releasing music is concerned, you know, and let me, I'm about to go deep into it, but definitely gave me Anita Baker vibe. And then with the third single on the album, One Thing on My Mind, which is an up-tempo song, and I must admit, all the up-tempo songs on this album, all the up-tempo songs that I've heard from the first album and the second album, I definitely enjoy. I like up-tempo music. I definitely do. And the third single on the album, which is called One Thing on My Mind, is definitely my favorite song on the album at this moment in time. I love it. And the song reminds me a lot of her hit, You Know How to Love Me. So I love it. So you can definitely tell that there are certain, you can get the feel with the first album that there are some signature sounds, signature chord changes, I guess, if you will, or phrases that definitely is a part of the way in which Phyllis Hyman interprets a song. So I love it. I love it a lot. And then you get the fourth single, I Don't Want to Lose You. And when I thought about the fourth song, I Don't Want to Lose You, that's when I started thinking about Anita Baker again, because that song made me think about Anita Baker's song, I Just Want to Be Your Girl. So check it out for yourself and let me know what you think. But I definitely thought that that's what I got out of Phyllis Hyman's single, I Don't Want to Lose You. And then you get another up-tempo song, which is my favorite song. It's song number 5, Deliver the Love. And the song Deliver the Love, for whatever reason, and I kind of laughed when I thought about it, go and listen to the song. And for whatever reason, I thought about Good Times. And this song made me think about Michael Evans. Like, I could see Michael Evans singing this song, Deliver the Love, during, one of those rent parties or whatever, or those talent shows on Good Times. I can see Michael Evans definitely singing this song. It's an up-tempo song, and I like it a lot. And then you have the song, Was Yesterday Such a Long Time Ago, which would be number 6. It's very dramatic. That's what I wrote. I love how dramatic this song is, And then there's the next song, Night Birds Gets the Love. I didn't care too much for it, but it was definitely worth listening to and checking out. And then you get the eighth song on the album, which is called Beautiful Man of Mine, smiley face. I love Beautiful Man of Mine, smiley face. So at this moment in time, I like track number 3 on the album, which would be One Thing on My Mind. Track number 5, Deliver the Love. Track number 8, Beautiful Man of Mine. And by the time you get to the last track, which is Children of the World, I like the song a lot. And that's when I started thinking about Shaka Khan and Natalie Cole. So there's a lot of things that are going on with this first album that I like a lot about it. And I can understand how, frustrating it would be for an artist such as Phyllis Hyman. It sounds like they're definitely doing things at the time, probably trying to find their way with an artist such as Phyllis Hyman, right? I don't recall any of the sales on the album, so I'm not quite sure how it did sales-wise, or what was one of the standout songs on the album, except for probably Loving You, Losing You. But again, I think it's a great introduction to who we know Phyllis Hyman to be. And I'm definitely getting that they were probably trying to make her a Natalie Cole, Chaka Khan type artist. I understand you guys out there, some of you who, I didn't take the time out to look at the years for Natalie Cole and Chaka Khan. Some people probably say, oh, well, she was before Chaka Khan or before Natalie Cole and so on and so forth. But what I'm saying is I'm getting some of those elements. And now, since we're talking about that, let me just go ahead on and look and see, for the sake of just, getting a better understanding. So Natalie Cole was already out. So by the time then Phyllis Hyman releases her album in 1977, Natalie Cole is on her third album. So that definitely falls in place with what I'm getting this Natalie Cole vibe. And let's see about Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan, she's definitely probably out. Well, she's a solo artist in 1978. And she's probably with Rufus, maybe in 73, maybe. I'm not quite sure. When did she join Rufus? Oh, see? So I think she was probably, I'm not sure, maybe with Rufus 73, 74. No, 75. No, 73. But anyway, so definitely Phyllis Hyman is after Chaka Khan and Natalie Cole. So then I will be right on the money that's what's happening. They're making her, they're stylizing her vocally and musically wise with Chaka Khan and Natalie Cole. And I think it's a good effort. I really and truly do think so. That is great. Maybe the song the choruses of the song, the chorus is not as catchy as like what you want to call it? Do You Love What You Feel? This Will Be, the songs are not as popish and catchy as, a Natalie Cole or a Chaka Khan's, song. But I definitely think that that's what they're going for. Wonderful, great effort. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So I think we're going to end here. Since we're at the 17-minute mark, and I still need to talk about her second album, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video right here and just going straight into the second video, about her other album. I don't want to, be too long with this one, right? Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So anywho, thank you for tuning in over here, People I View. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget, over here, I believe in putting your behind where your heart desires to be. And also, to remember, whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, baby, remember, I love you, but God loves you best. And on that note, I look forward to seeing you guys next video. And until then, you know what to do. Take care of yourself.